Xbox Series.
This man is pulling out consoles, man. Hold on, I got the perfect console for you. You ready for it? Oh, what's this? The Sega Dreamcast? You know, the same platform that you don't even talk about. Instead, you out here pulling out mini fridges.
X.
What happened to the controller? This man decided to say, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys how much I hate this console just by pulling it all out, right? Gotta let you guys know that I got one.
I still remember actually buying mine 4 years ago. They didn't have pre-orders set up at GameStop, so I ended up sitting outside the store.
This man's such a fool, bro. Holding on to this rocket launcher, man. Who you think you is? Phil Spencer with the cigar in your mouth? Man, I've seen that meme. Cut it out, Dreamcast guy, bro. We get it. Oh, I'm not a fanboy. I got an Xbox Series X. The last time I checked, didn't you say it was for some form of a career, which means that you'll probably end up buying the system anyway, just so you could do like some potential bad review scores, you know, to essentially make the Xbox look bad. But go ahead.
Hold for 5 hours before they opened with a bunch of Xbox fans. And the excitement was palpable. The hype, the intensity, people telling stories about how much they're ready to play Halo Infinite.
I remember the same thing with the PS5, and what's crazy about that, it's been 4 years, guys, since that. And we still haven't got anything, man. Microsoft is just getting into momentum. Sony still has nothing. It's crazy, bro. If you really look at it, this console generation was trash. Like, let's just be honest, man. Let's call a spade, bro. Put the console war garbage aside, please. Because at the end of the day, you people have been suckered. You guys bought these platforms for $500 and you still ain't got nothing remotely good to play on it. That is the biggest scam that I've ever seen in this gaming industry.
Actually saying how much Gears of War and Forza and Fable impacted their lives. And it's interesting to think
about. See, now the problem is a lot of these games just don't have the same weight considering that they've been coming out for years. You know what I mean? These are not real new intellectual properties. I mean, Perfect Dark, I mean, they revitalized IP. I mean, these are things that I'm kind of more looking forward to. Indiana Jones looking pretty promising. But at the end of the day, guys, gaming will never go back to the days of the PS2, the PS3, or even the Xbox 360 because the passion is gone. These companies don't care about taking the hardware that they have and trying to push it more than what it is. A lot of it just runs on the lowest end PC denominator, and then they just essentially port the games to console. They're not essentially taking advantage of the full capabilities of your platform. And I get where people say, I'm frustrated about this game. So this is not how it's supposed to be. But yet people weren't buying games, man. EA has been telling y'all ever since the 360, like, hey, can you guys buy our games new? And you people chose not to buy them. You bought them used. And now we want to sit here and complain as to why there's less franchises, less IPs, and just less games in general. I mean, a lot of that has stemmed from the gaming community. And you can blame games like Call of Duty and Fortnite just put the final nail in the coffin.
How now,
and
4 years later, PlayStation is bigger than ever, and Xbox is just dead.
Now, oh my God, here we go with this Xbox is dead, man. You know what's dead? Let me tell you what's dead, bro. You know, the same thing that you got on the top of your head, man. And as much as, you know, it's funny because this console came out 1 year and 8 months, right? The lifespan of this. And this console had more games than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X together, bro. Let that speak volumes that this console right here had more games to play in 1 year and 8 months than when you're getting with 2 platforms, bro. I consider this a downgrade. PC gamers can consider this a W because now they're getting access to these games. But besides that, if you already had them on your console, you PC gamers really don't have a right to brag because you're not really getting anything that crazy either. You feel me? So at the end of the day, me personally, gaming is just garbage.
I want to talk about this today because I think there's something kind of sad about what's currently going on. A lot of the biggest Xbox fans, the content creators, the passionate developers and stuff, there's been just so much negativity and pessimism. I think I understand winning the Super Bowl, stuff like that. So I've always thought that a lot
What does this have to do with playing video games?
The Xbox fanboys, it is because of that. It's that they want to defeat big bad Sony.
They are. I mean, you don't think that most PlayStation 5 gamers looking forward to Xbox games instead of their own is not a detriment to Sony? You don't think that Call of Duty, Fortnite, and all these other free-to-plays and AAA games are doing better on PS5 than their own exclusives? You really do? Do you actually believe that that's actually beneficial to Sony? Because if you do, you don't know nothing about the gaming industry. You just said people go out there and buy consoles for exclusives, but the only ones they're not buying them for is Sony.
Yeah, okay, PlayStation's got more console sales and more exclusives, and it's taken over Metacritic.
Yeah, but you see, it's so funny. He got more console sales, but he don't want to bring up the fact that those exclusives are not selling worth a damn.
And stuff like that, but Xbox does have games. Xbox is about to be awesome. All you Sony ponies will be crying whenever we get our next big game. But now, Xbox is going third party.
Hold on. What are you talking about? Xbox has been going third party ever since the Xbox One. And what's even more funny about this is that isn't all your PlayStation games going to PC? That is the definition of multi-platform. Isn't Lego Horizons dropping on the Nintendo Switch? That is the definition of multi-platform. Like, it's so funny that you guys want to push the narrative into something else. Oh, Xbox hasn't gone third. They have already been third party. Sony is going third. When you put your games on a competing platform, I don't care if it's an Xbox, Nintendo Switch, or a PC platform, that is the definition of third party. All you people want to spin, what's a console exclusive? Be quiet, bro. It ain't an exclusive. Because if I can access the game by any means of playing on a device that's not the one that Sony sold me, then that's not an exclusive.
Every game that's currently being made by Microsoft is also coming to PlayStation, to PC, and a lot of them are even going to come to Nintendo Switch. And I think a lot of people are very much talking about either leaving the industry, selling their system and giving up, or going PC, or jumping
If you're doing any of that, bro, that just goes, bro, you guys have to understand, even if you jump PC, it's not going to make that much of a difference. And y'all like games, so what are you talking? The games are still the same. I mean, yes, frame rate, resolutions, I get all that. You're going to take the games that you got now and make them run a little bit and play a little bit better. That's understandable. But you have to understand that Indiana Jones, Perfect, all these games are going to be the same. Except the difference is it's going to be better. So if you're not happy with playing these games on console, what makes you think that you're going to feel more excited playing them on PC? Like, that's like me not liking the game on Xbox One and complaining, well, I would have liked it more. I still don't like the game on PC. Why, game? So because I don't like the game. What do people don't understand? Well, games they run at 120 frame on PC. I don't like the game. I don't like it on Xbox One. I'm not going to like it on the PC. You see how this works? So you people, PC is more for enhancing that experience, man. But that's not what we're complaining about here. You guys want to feel like you're on some form of winning team when in reality, it's all about video gaming. You know what, guys? I bet I should just throw this in the trash, you know? It's just garbage, you know? It's so bad, you know? The PS2 whooped its behind. Let me just get rid of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though it had way more games than the PS5 in 1 year and 8 months than, you know, PlayStation's 2 generation of consoles. But hey, you know, it's a failure. It's a failure.
To Team PlayStation.
And the funny thing is, he's speaking about failures with a Dreamcast hat on his head. The irony and all that.
And I want to discuss this today because I think their betrayal, disappointment, I think it's all very valid.
I've been betrayed!
This is not a mocking standpoint. I do think that if you saved up and kind of getting completely degraded, but it still has a content roadmap. I mean, PlayStation doesn't really do roadmaps. They just release lots and lots and lots of games.
And what games is that? Weren't you just complaining about how Concord is bad?
But this is one of the primary inspirations for this video because Clio Braille is a video edit where I'm the bad guy in Indiana Jones. And they were doing that to be like, yeah,
I seen this video.
We're getting Indiana Jones and PlayStation isn't. But now it is. Now, there really is no reason.
Now, the funny thing is, you hated the game. It's so funny because this speaks even more volumes. You hated the game. You even mentioned that you didn't like the game when it was touted as being an Xbox exclusive. And now, all of a sudden, you like it. That just goes to show you that you PlayStation fanboys are just bad for gaming in general. Because you guys are hating on things just because you don't have access and playing them.
To have an Xbox. At this point, even if you love Xbox games,
Let me get to that point.
they're better on PlayStation. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about the fact that excited for Indiana Jones. People were making these GIFs. This is like a real video.
See, now the funny thing is, you just said that you weren't excited for the game. You heard what he said, right? Should we rewind that? Hold on.
The promises have finally been fulfilled. In fact,
and this is the problem.
I wasn't very excited for Indiana Jones.
So you weren't excited for the game when it was touted as being an Xbox exclusive, and now all of a sudden you're excited for the game because you know that it's coming to PlayStation 5. Bro, you just speak volumes of every single PlayStation fanboy that talks the loudest in this community, because we already knew this. So that all that hate that you have for Starfield and all these other great Xbox games is because you guys can't play them. That's all it is, bro. You guys just expose yourself. Games to come on. It is the truth. Because for all you people say, oh, no, he just... How do you miraculously become a fan of something if you didn't like it before? That clearly shows that you had an inherent bias towards this game because it wasn't on your platform. I guarantee you'd be hating on Doom Dark Ages if it wasn't dropping on PS5. This is embarrassing.
Subscribers. Now we're getting better. 50 million, 100 million. That was an actual number that was being kicked around, which is that Game Pass, if it continues to make good exclusives at a good clip with a good schedule, people have to subscribe to it, either on PC or there was some rumors that maybe Game Pass would actually come to PlayStation.
That was kind of the whole idea, but Sony knew that that would only hurt their platform even worse.
Or Nintendo Switch. I mean, I still heard some talks that maybe they're going to try and get Game Pass onto the Nintendo.
See, people have to understand, man, the parasite has already been in. Microsoft has already been finding ways, and this is true. I've been hearing that Microsoft wanted to push Game Pass to Nintendo Switch as well as the PS5. You guys, I don't know if you guys have heard of these claims, and it is true. Sony would rather have Microsoft sell the game because, to be honest with you, Sony don't really, they don't mind it because it gets more people to play it on their platform or whatever to have you, but they want people to subscribe for their subscription service. Because, see, look, check this out. This is how dirty Microsoft is, right? Microsoft could have did that, right? Let's say if Sony did allow the Game Pass and you guys say, oh, Xbox Live, look at it, then they would be able to do what they're doing now with the 6-month Indiana Jones for the Xbox owners. But then guess what? They'll turn around and say, oh, all our games have free online multiplayer. Y'all like, huh? What do you mean? That means you don't have to pay for PlayStation Plus. See, this is what y'all not understanding, man. Microsoft is the reason why Sony did it this way, because Sony's like, okay, yeah, you're playing Sea of Thieves, but you're paying us the money for the subscription. You see what I'm saying? Microsoft, I told people, I think Microsoft is going to completely get rid of paying for online multiplayer for console. I really do. So essentially what they were trying to do, they was like, hey, here's Sea of Thieves, here's Grounded. We could push it through a Game Pass and you guys get everything, and they'll probably do with the 6-month intervals or whatever for certain games through PlayStation, right? Remember, PlayStation has their own subscription service. Let's not forget, PlayStation also has their own online membership service. Now, you guys, hope you guys are following me, because I know some of you guys are simpletons, but please follow me. So Microsoft would have did that. Let's say if they did. Let's say if Sony agreed. Sea of Thieves and get access to even more Xbox games than we got now, right? One, people are going to unsubscribe from PlayStation to play Xbox. And then the next thing Xbox is going to do is say, oh, y'all doing that? Because it's the battle of the service. It's the games now. It's not really the online multiplayer anymore. Oh, Sea of Thieves, free online. That would have hurt Sony. Y'all know that. Because then that means people would be able to play Sea of Thieves on PlayStation even while staying subscribed to Xbox, which means that Xbox gets the money and Sony has a subscription service which people ain't paying for. Bro, y'all don't want to. It's okay. I try to explain it to the best of my possibilities, but you guys don't want to hear it, man. It's cool. But like I said,
Switch. But the idea has always been, instead of selling you...
And that's why Sony preferred them to sell the game than to have Game Pass, because Game Pass would have been more beneficial. They would have had more access to Xbox games. They would have had a lot more, right? They would have. See, but like that's a very good thing, because if Sony did accept that, one, they would have ruined their own subscription service, and two, they already ruining their platform already with this type of stuff, because people are looking for the Xbox games more so than Sony exclusives. So a lot of your games are getting overshadowed now. This is not good, man. Microsoft could have put free online multiplayer for Sea of Thieves, and that means Sony gamers would have unsubscribed. Because don't remember, most Sony gamers play single player games. And the ones that do play multiplayer, what do they play, guys? Call of Duty, Fortnite. I'm tired of the list. Apex Legends. You guys know the games they play. So if Microsoft did that and said, hey, free online for Sea of Thieves, then those people are going to drop their subscription service, continue to play their free-to-plays, while also having access to these great Xbox games, right? So this is where it's dangerous, and that's why Sony was smart in refusing the Game Pass subscription service through their platform.
3 or 4 $70 games a year, they'd sell you a $25 subscription for 12.
Microsoft is trying to destroy Sony,
instantly sold 1 million copies at least, which means that this was a $40 game. That means even if you got the normal edition, not even the upgraded special edition, not even all the microtransactions and stuff in the game, this made $40 million pretty much instantly the second they dropped it onto a more popular console. And I think Microsoft is starting to say, okay, how much did this instantly pay off? How much money do we instantly make back for the dev cost by releasing it?
Dev cost. That game was so easy to make, bro. They didn't even cost them anything. The game, all they had to do was port it over.
A community that actually Game Pass. Like, how many Game Pass?
Hold on. This is more money than Game Pass? What are you talking about? Let's do the real mathematics. Is this really more? You said it's 40 million, right? For all the PlayStation owners that potentially bought this game. You said it's more money to do that? Now, okay, you bought the game, and that's it. Game Pass Ultimate, they getting that money concurrently every month. Like you said, it's $20 to $40, right, to buy the game. Well, I think he said $40 to buy the game. 2 months of Game Pass Ultimate is $40 already. 3 months, $60, $4, $80 now. How is that? How you guys are going to keep arguing and saying Game Pass Ultimate ain't making money when I just broke it down for you? You bought the game for $40. Okay, we get that. Xbox, you listen, Xbox, Game Pass Ultimate, 3 out of 6 months, you've already paid more than $100. But if you buy the game, it's only $40. Well, it's also you got to stay subscribed too. That's what I'm saying. Microsoft merged their services together to make it easier. That's why they don't really care about pushing the online. It's just kind of there just for right now. But I can guarantee you Microsoft is going to push for free online multiplayer. That's what they was trying to do when they try to push Game Pass onto PlayStation owners.
Fans would this take to make $40 million? A lot. I think there's also a bit of pessimism because now the future of Xbox, I think Avowed looks good. There are some bad previews. Some people are saying Avowed looks kind of terrible. It's lazy and crap.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people now in the back of their head are going, okay, when are we going to get Starfield Special Edition?
Well, I thought you guys didn't care for this game. Why do you guys care about a DLC for a game that you guys never wanted to play?
But how long until we see PlayStation 5 exclusive YouTubers actually reviewing Starfield on the PlayStation?
See, this is all it's about, man. Like, and the fact that we're still talking about Starfield going this far in shows you that you ponies wanted this game. And I feel bad for any Xbox gamer out there that allowed any of these people to take the fun away from them. If they like Starfield. I personally didn't like it. But I'm just saying, you people are ridiculous, bro. Like, it just goes to show you that you people ain't nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, and you only hate games because they're on Xbox. Plain and simple.
PlayStation 5 Pro, and it runs better. It looks better. It is better on a better console. I think it's interesting because a lot of the most dedicated Xbox people are annoyed is because the messaging isn't clear. Anybody's ever been in a toxic relationship with like a girl or a guy who constantly changes plans and flakes out, and suddenly they're super hot and passionate, and you're rolling around in bed and then they disappear for a week or whatever like that. You know that it's not just frustrating, but it's exhausting. After a bit, you're like, man, I really got to find me a sane woman who will actually communicate. I'm starting to think that in a lot of ways, Xbox is that toxic X. They're going to lie. They're going to gaslight.
Yeah, it is, bro. Like, we're going to sit there and act like a multi-billion, multi-trillion-dollar company has never lied to its consumers. We're going to sit there and say that. Didn't Jim Ryan say that PlayStation's future is not within old games, and yet every time we hear about PlayStation, it's some remaster or some remake to an old game we played 20 years ago? I mean, come on, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, all these companies lie, man, as much as you people don't want to admit it.
They're going to say whatever it takes to actually get through that next big quarter and hopefully not completely tank the business. And I think that sucks. I do actually feel bad for a lot of Xbox fans. This needs to be said.
What is there to feel bad about? We're getting some of the best games, and all you ponies is doing. You can't even depend on Sony to drop games for you. That you got to depend on Microsoft. Like this just goes to show you that the PS5 is by far one of the worst consoles that I've ever experienced. Like I should be talking about ratcheting. I should be talking about slide. I should be talking about their games. Why am I buying a PS5 to talk about Xbox games? Especially when Xbox gives you the best way to play their very own titles. Like if this is what we're doing here, then Xbox is the best place to play games. Not Sony, if we're talking about Xbox, because the last time you guys played an exclusive and it was Concord, and y'all gonna drop that game after a month. So y'all games is just not playable.
The industry is always evolving. This
unbelievable, bro.
And from the very start, I have not even bothered talking about these rumors because they're obviously outlandish. Like, there is no way that PlayStation cares about porting stuff to Xbox. It's a small.
Kenna Bridges, MLB, Predator Hunting Ground, Forspoken, and Final Fantasy 16. Those games are coming to Xbox. You do know that. And these were games that were funded by Sony. You see, and the funny thing is, why does it matter, bro? Why does it matter? Microsoft is a way bigger company than Sony, so of course they're going to want to expand within their gaming or just their divisions in general. That's Microsoft's new vision now. I mean, and that vision stems from PC gaming. So I don't see the problem with that personally. But you guys want to have this little war. Oh, well, Sony, okay, Black Myth Wukong. I mean, like Genshin Impact just came on Xbox. And how come none of you guys are talking about how Sony's dead now all of a sudden for a game that was originally a PlayStation 4 console exclusive, now dropping on Xbox? Oh, I guess the Xbox is dead now, guys. Black Myth Wukong is dead. Like, what? Like, come on, man.
Our ecosystem with people that don't buy games, and I don't think...
And y'all don't buy games either.
PlayStation is interested in putting anything on Game Pass, really. So,
listen to what he just said. PlayStation is not interested in putting games on Game Pass. Listen to what he just said. MLB. GameStop, I always got the comebacks, bro. You guys cannot win against me, man. That's what you guys don't understand. Y'all like, what did you have to do against the MLB license? That don't count. It don't count. Yeah, you're right. Maybe you're right. But they didn't have to put it on Game Pass, though. See, that's what you don't understand. Sony made the game. Yeah, Sony might have put the MLB, whatever, they worked on the license. But why is it on Game Pass? And what's even more funny, why is it not on PlayStation? Y'all want to sit there and say, it's an MLB decision. That's what it is. It's an MLB. So why isn't it on both subscription services? Why is it on Xbox through Game Pass? And why is it not through PlayStation's very own? Just like y'all want to talk about crashes on PS4, their service, but it ain't on Xbox. Well, MLB is another example. That's on the Xbox subscription service made by Sony. So what are you talking about? Oh, Sony don't put games on. They have. You cannot sit there and argue this, man.
Think now. If you're waiting for Xbox to suddenly blow up, if you're waiting for Xbox...
I mean, this is ridiculous. I told you guys, exclusives don't matter, bro. They never did. All you guys is doing is fighting over timed exclusives. Okay, you guys got Indiana Jones. Next few months, we're going to get Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken. It is what it is. All these games are going to PC. We already know that inevitably. So, what's the argument here? Sony's dropping games, Xbox is dropping games, except Xbox is dropping some bangers for y'all, and PlayStation is just dropping junk, and they're dropping all their major games on PC, because I still think they look at Microsoft as a competitor, because that's what differentiates them. Microsoft don't see Sony as competition. Like, I don't understand why some of these Xbox dudes would be hurt because these PlayStation dudes want to play some good quality games. Like, really, bro? Give these dudes some scraps, man. Let them eat. They clearly ain't eating in a while, man. Look, they starving. This man got stains on his shirt, pulling out gaming consoles. Like, let them eat, man.
To finally become the kings of the industry that you've always been promised, I think it's time to sell your system. I think
guys,
that honestly, Xboxes are worthless at this point. Your sell value is going to be way, way, way lower than the $500 you paid for it originally, but even if it comes to saving up and buying some computer parts, getting a budget pre-built system, or buying a PlayStation...
Now the question is, why are you a Dreamcast fan? Because if console sales and software sales mean so much to you, how could you even be a Dreamcast fan? Like, how can you, bro? That's what I'm saying. Change your hat, bro. Like, bro, I think people are getting tired of the charade that you got going on because at the end of the day, regardless of how well the Dreamcast sold, the system had great, incredible games. It just didn't catch on, unfortunately, because most people rather wait for the PS2, which had a DVD player, which was the main reason as to why people picked one up in the first place. But hey, it is what it is, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take away the quality games of the Dreamcast because it didn't sell as well as the PlayStation 2. Like,
even a Nintendo Switch at this point, I think if your goal is to game, it's time to get a different system. But
and if you're playing a PS5 for Xbox games, then I'm going to advise you guys to pick up an Xbox instead, because at least with Xbox, you get to play them a few months early, on top of the fact that you get them through your subscription service, which you're paying two separate services for on PlayStation. You're paying for the online and you're paying to play demos and trials. I mean, at this point, if you're just picking up for the Xbox games and playing third party, you might as well pick up an Xbox. I mean, if you're not picking it up for exclusives, then so what? If you and this is another thing with ponies, like, how are you gonna sit there and bash Xbox for going multi-platform when Sony's doing the same thing by putting their games on PC? So what's the point of an Xbox? What's the point of a PlayStation 5? Why won't you guys just get a PC? Right? I mean, if we're gonna go with this logic, because at this point it's stupid.
Have just been some off the cuff thoughts.
Yeah, nobody gives a crap. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. Peace out.